19-year-old Gaius Parseval walked at an unhurried pace through the bustling streets of Miquelian city. The evening light slid across the polished cobblestones, catching on stained glass reflections and glints of copper. Now and then, his sharp eyes lingered on a passing young beauty, an impish smile lighting his face. Yet tonight, he wasn't strolling to charm anyone. He was heading toward a meeting he had long awaited. The bastard brother of the Count of Chandonsel, unofficial heir since the renunciation of the legitimate successor, was finally going to see his half-nephew Lancelot again, absent for many months. Only 2 years separated them, but all their lives they had thought of each other as brothers. Their bond hadn't grown from a neatly drawn family tree, but from a tangled, accident-prone history, woven from both affection and old wounds. At birth, Gaius had been legally recognized by his father, Gaius Parseval. His mother, Canisius's mistress, died giving birth to him, leaving the child motherless from his first breath. His father, already caught in a bitter divorce, orchestrated by Lancelot's formidable grandmother, had neither the strength nor the time to raise him. It was Boniface, Canisius's legitimate son and Gaius's half-brother, who decided to take him in, along with his wife Camelia. To Gaius, Boniface and Camelia quickly became more than guardians. They were his true parents. There was an attempt at reconciliation with Canisius after the Saint Andiol's choice. For a short while, Gaius lived in the capital of Chandonsel, but the cohabitation didn't last. Canisius, distant and embittered, never managed to build a bond. Gaius returned to Boniface and Camelia, who lived at Cannons, the estate of the heir to Chandonsel. For a few years, life there was simple and happy. A half-brother, a sister-in-law, a half-nephew, and still a real family. Until events began to move quickly. 5 years earlier, Canisius died, worn down by grief and loneliness, unable to recover from the loss of Gaius's mother. Soon after, Boniface left Cannons for the planetary capital. He also accepted an offer from the Duke of Ammonay, of the distant kingdom of Fouflenge, to betroth his daughter and heiress to Boniface's legitimate son. Lancelot thus left for another galaxy to start his own family, renouncing his Miquelian titles. Before parting, the two brothers swore to see each other again as often as the parsecs would allow. Worried for Gaius's future, Boniface sent him to study in Miquelian city at the age of 9. Adoption was rare in Miquelian, especially for an orphan, so he placed his hopes in another path, giving Gaius a respectable position and the skills he would need so that one day the king might recognize his legitimacy. By chance, or perhaps by fate, Gaius met two noble youths of his age, André Giuseppe, Prince of Tredracan and the king's third son, and Georges Conens, Duke of Foncêtre and heir to the Principality of Montagnac. The three became inseparable, sharing not only a passion for study, but also a taste for the quiet intrigues that made the corridors of power hum. That evening, Gaius was approaching a tavern with a lilting name, Au Lion d'Oie, a pun in Arpitan that made him smile. In bed, you sleep. He hoped Lancelot wouldn't spend the whole night talking about marriage. True, both his friends were already wed, but who would think of offering their daughter to a bastard without even a legitimization? No, Gaius had other plans. He wanted to join the aerospace fleet, climb the ranks and, with luck, be a major in 6 years by Saint Antonin's Day, commanding his own squadron of pilots. Crossing the threshold, he spotted Lancelot already seated, a steaming plate before him. The reunion was warm. They talked all night, one speaking of career plans, the other of family life in Fouflenge. Lancelot showed a picture of his son Leonard, then announced that Clotilde, his wife, was expecting a daughter. The two men drank to the news, laughing over old memories, until the hour forced them apart. A month later, Gaius boarded a ship for Crunen, headquarters of the Miquelian fleet, ready to begin his career as a pilot. The future, uncertain yet wide open, stretched before him. And in a kingdom where birth weighed as heavily as deeds, he knew it would take more than noble blood, even bastardized, to carve out his place. And beyond the reach of official histories, other stories were already weaving themselves. Intrigues, silent oaths, disputed inheritances. This is where The Shadow of the Princes, Chronicles of the Red Kings, Tome 1 begins. A novel where the corridors of power echo with secrets few dare to name. Available now on Amazon and Kindle ebook. If this journey drew you in, don't stop at the gates of Miquelian. Subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment, and share this story. Every gesture extends the tale and brings us back, together, to where it all began.